morning. I am at my first job of the day. It's Thursday, the 18th of January, 2024. I was here already. I needed to get a part, and now I'm here to put it in. Here's our unit. It's furnace. It's a pane, and it's from 2006. And our inducer is shot. So, here to replace that. I got it in the box. From Carrier, because this is made by Carrier. Should be pretty straightforward. Okay, so we got our old one out, and I had to reuse the black plastic wheel because this one was cracked. So, new one is in with a new gasket, new screws, and we have our wiring harness, like adapter in here, because I guess they use this for a few different models, and we should be good to turn it on. Okay, so we're running with a nice, pretty solid blue flame, no change when the fan kicked on. I did check the heat exchanger through various methods to make sure it was intact before I even went with ordering the part. Now I'm waiting on my testo to charge up a little bit to do a combustion analysis because the cold weather killed the battery. So just do a combustion, make sure it's burning safely, and we should be good to go. Okay, so we got our tag stating what we did, so we can keep a history here. Sticker and our combustion analysis. Unit is burning safely. We are all good to go. And the only other thing is that I had to disable this because it was leaking. The water panel that was in here, ancient and disgusting, but for now we're just leaving it. Okay, so everything's like a little bit hectic right now because we're trying to fit a Lochinvar in the schedule and meet with Lochinvar. I have quite a few jobs all over Long Island, and we're trying to get everything situated between me, Peter, and the other Mike. But I just stopped by at that RTU I was just at yesterday, where I installed this pressure switch. I messed up when I adjusted that pressure setting on the new switch, so I had to make an adjustment to that. So it was a recall. But I'm headed now to a no heat in Valley Stream around the corner from me. I don't know what's going to be there, but hopefully it's something simple. Okay, so this is kind of, I feel really bad. The customer has dementia, and he's a Vietnam vet. He'll get a military discount. Their pilot was out. I'm replacing the thermocouple, and I'll make sure it's burning safely. But yeah, it's kind of sad. So I just want to get this done for him. See, he's a fisherman too. But there's our boiler. Here's our water heater, which that one's fine. Pilot didn't go out on that. So we're gonna do thermocouple. Better to be safe than sorry. I don't want it going out on them again. And they're gonna have to pay for another trip charge, another hourly labor rate. So we will get this done. Okay, so got our new pilot flame sensor thermocouple in there. We call it a pilot flame sensor for the customers. And just waiting for my dispatching app to load so I can take a picture of it. But I'll do a combustion test and make sure we're all good. Okay, so I finished up with that, and I went to go check the heat everywhere in the house, upstairs and downstairs. And their son lives upstairs, and he's mentally disabled, so that was kind of unfortunate too. He was living in like just piles of clothes, and you could tell he was nervous that I was around. But yeah, I'm glad I got them heat. It looks like they have a service agreement with HomeServe, so they wanted to sign up with an agreement with us, but he has dementia, so he doesn't really know what's going on, and I don't want him to pay for a service agreement with us if he's paying for a service agreement with HomeServe. So I left them with cards, I left them with a magnet. I told the person that's with them, that's with him, to call HomeServe and figure out the situation, give him the address and his name. And then once Once that's either canceled or you confirm it's over, then call us for a service agreement. And they were super happy and super grateful. But I'm headed to the shop to pick up parts for that Lochinvar, and then I'm headed to the Lochinvar to see what the issue is. The rep is there already, and it's in Merrick. I'm a little bit of a ways, so we'll see when I get there. I hate to keep him waiting, but I told him around 10:30 to 11, so. So, new board is in for testing. Temporarily plugged in a new gas valve for testing. Gas valve did not open, and I think we're thinking something's going on with the control end.
We'll get it. Yeah, it's going to cut out. It's got to get adjusted a little bit. And we'll do combustion testing after it runs for a little bit.
At this point in the call, I was in absolute disbelief at the zero progress we were making. And I was making suggestions, none of them were taken, and it was just a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. So finally I was through with it. And I told him, we're taking this apart now. Let's look at everything, because we're not making any progress. We found various reasons or evidence of cross-contamination, damage to components from recirculation of exhaust gases. And at this point, I proved that there are many issues going on that this guy couldn't figure out. This guy from Lochinvar. And I wrapped it up with the homeowner. He paid for my time. We scheduled another call. I'll be back to do a full cleaning and service and diagnose this properly. Okay, so I left that Lochinvar. He's not up and running. It was ridiculous being there for that. All I could say is that I would not have approached that situation the way the technician that was there did. Because the system's still not up and running. No real true issue has been fully diagnosed. There have been multiple issues found, but there's no solution yet. And it is what it is. I told the customer that there's no use in me standing here for this thing. So I'm heading on to my next call. It's 1:30 p.m. already. Wasted 2 hours there. Half hour driving there, half hour now driving back. So 3 hours actually, but it's radiant, no heat. We'll see what happens there. But that was pretty aggravating. I got a text that I was on the way 30 minutes ago, and he waits till I call now to head over here. So now I gotta wait for him. Okay, so I'm at this boiler, and we were cutting on and off on our flame. I cleaned our flame sensor, and so far so good. We have a steady heartbeat, no errors. Our flame light is lit. Yeah, the issue was that the boiler is not keeping up. So one plumber, his fix was, let's shut off all the radiant zones and the indirect heater. So I opened up everything, and instantly we got heat movement, but boiler temperature started dropping, and I was like, Looked down there, and the flame was cutting in and out, turning off, turning on, turning off, turning on. So that's why we couldn't heat, because we didn't have consistent flame. So we'll see what happens with our boiler temperature now as it runs. I did have to shut the indirect off because the indirect is leaking from the space heating side, so he is going to need a new indirect. but he does not so far need a new boiler. He was told he needed a new boiler by the last guy. Okay, so here's our combustion. Low CO, low temperature. Hold on. And high oxygen. So, let's stop that. I'm gonna grab a manometer to see what our manifold pressure is. I think our gas valve's not opening up fully, and I think we need a new gas valve. And look at that amazing roaring flame. Our combustion is just started. We're settling out. We're already getting higher CO, lower O2. Higher CO2, not higher CO. Our CO should be lower because we had something before. I want nothing now. We got 1. I'm sure we'll get a little bit, but close to nothing. But we'll get this dialed in. And now we can actually heat the boiler up to temperature. And this homeowner's gonna be thrilled because he thought he needed to get a new boiler and all he needed was a gas valve. He does need a new indirect tank though. Okay, so the leak actually seems to have stopped now that the water has heated up. So, you know, I let him know, I showed him what it's gonna look like, I sent him a picture, and he wants to leave it open, he wants to try to let the hot water heat. If it leaks, we'll get him a new tank, and if it doesn't, we'll wait. Everything's running. You see our temperatures coming up on 120, 140, 150. 150 right now. Everything was like ice cold, so it's gonna take some time to really heat up the whole house and this indirect, but we are returning on every line, supplying on every line, so we should be all set. Just waiting on payment. Okay, so finished up there, got paid. I am headed now to Douglaston, which is about an hour away, north to...
At the stop sign,
He asked for a Badaris 142, Logo Max 142 maintenance, and Wal McLean Ultra not igniting for his eco melt, or his snow melt. And I actually just called him and asked if it would be a big deal to reschedule, and he said if it's an absolute necessity, but he wants to get the snow melt working for the snow tomorrow. So I told him I'm gonna come, but my focus is gonna be on the snow melt system. The maintenance is something that's time consuming, and I'd prefer to get customers with no heat out of the way before I go start taking apart a boiler. It's gonna take me 2 hours to clean. And he was like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. So I am headed now to do that. Hopefully it's not something too bad. And today's my lucky day because his Badaris just shut down. He just called me to let me know that. So that's great. I got to troubleshoot both of his boilers. It's already 4:25, so I'm gonna lose Wal McLean technical support first. Guess I'll be starting with that one. And hopefully I can get Bosch tech support for the Badaris. The Wal McLean, I'm fairly confident I'll be able to fix without tech support, but you never know. The Badaris, typically you need tech support unless it's something like obvious or something that you've dealt with before, because we don't see very many of these, but I'm pulling up right now, so we'll see what happens. So here's our Wal McLean, here's our Badaris, here's our incoming gas pressure. I want to know what that is when it's not running. 15, 17, 19. This is natural gas. And we're settling back down. 2, 1. 1. That's really strange.
Now I know why they shut down. It's weird that they both shut down.
Yeah. Where's your gas meter?
It's outside, around the house.
Okay, so I headed out of there real quick. Just gave him a trip charge, told him let's get the gas fixed. I'll come back, we'll do the full maintenance on both boilers and make sure everything's running well. just to kind of keep him, you know, I don't want to make him pay all this just for me to tell him that the gas pressure's low. And I'd rather know that we're going to be there as a consistent customer. So I am now headed to two Badaris boilers that are not, they're like warm, they're not like heating, but he did just text me that he does have heat and hot water now. But this is a customer that like uses us religiously, so I want to make sure it's good for him. I'd rather not get that call out on the weekend either. So headed there, and then I got one more after that. And the gate's open for me. This guy's house is massive. I hope his driveway doesn't have any ice in it, because I won't be able to get up then. He's got a pond over here. Big house. So there's two Badaris cast iron boilers, and this temperature was fluctuating like rapidly, and we confirmed that the sensor back here was bad, which then I tried to pull out, and I actually pulled the wire out of the sensor's stuck in there. But we took a Weil McLean sensor, and it seems to be working fine. And Tim from Bosch said too that it's fine. He says if it's working, he wouldn't even bother putting in the actual Badaris sensor. So, yeah. Wow. So that was so terrifying, that boiler. We knew it was the sensor. We were pretty sure it was the sensor giving an issue. I spoke with Bosch tech support. I actually had him on FaceTime, which was really nice that he stayed out. He answered the phone late, because he doesn't need to answer the phone after 4:30. Right. So it's 6:48 p.m. and he answered the phone for me, which is nice. But he was like, let's see where that sensor goes, blah, blah, blah. Let's test the sensor. We find the sensor, it's in a well, and I go to pull the sensor out, and I just pull out two wires. Rip the wires right out of the sensor. And I was like, well, now this customer's done. He's not gonna have any heat or hot water. It went from a little bit of heat or hot water to nothing. But I was able to put in a Weil McLean 12,000 ohm temperature sensor. The ones that they just ship for free with the boilers. I always keep the extras, and it was the perfect thing. It's strapped right on. It's reading a little bit off on temperature because it's supposed to be a 10K, but Bosch said leave it, it's gonna be fine, because there's two other temperature controls, the hydro level and an aquastat on the other boiler. So I am so thrilled, but I was terrified. The customer said that he could hear the panic in my voice when that sensor came out. But yeah, I was just like, oh, I gotta use something. I grabbed a Weil McLean sensor, and we were good. So headed now to Burnham Alpine that I'm going to be replacing the blower on. It is going to kind of stink because I'm probably not going to get out of there till like 9, but I just want this customer to have heat and hot water, because he had nothing all day and last night. And they're older people, so cold hurts them. So I just pulled the heat exchanger cover plate and the blower gas valve off. And we have the new one here, which I already plugged in to make sure that it spins. And hopefully I could get this in pretty quick. Okay, so we just lit, running 20%. See our flame in there. And we'll do a combustion test to make sure that it's burning safely and properly. Check our supply and return. Our rate is coming up, so we should be all set. Okay, so we are up and running for domestic hot water. We tested space heating. Everything circulates, everything heats. Boiler modulates properly, and then I did a low and a high fire. I did have to adjust it a little bit to make sure that it's burning safely, that the carbon monoxide is okay, and that we were within the percentages on our oxygen and our CO2. But we are good to go. So I recorded an outro for this, but I deleted it on accident. But I was just super happy to give that customer heat. He uses us regularly, and he really trusts us, and he likes me a lot. And it's nice that he appreciates us so much. He was told by another company that he would have had to spend thousands last winter to make a repair, as well as wait months and rent a hotel out because his house would be frozen. And I was able to fix it with a combustion test and turning a screw. So that was really nice. And since then, he's been using us. He has a maintenance agreement, and I've made a few other repairs. But yeah, I left that job at around 9 p.m., so pretty late. Yeah, it was a good day. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. Like it if you liked it. Like it if you didn't like it. Comment any advice or criticisms or feedback. And subscribe. Thanks for watching.